Check. Yo, welcome to episode 2 of Interviews with Ebony Jewel. I'm a Mahimana Thomas. What he don't know is he gonna be a recurring motherfucking guest on this thing. Cause he'd be having all the questions and he'd be liking to check me a whole lot. So
that's what I
we're
do.
gonna have some fun.
That's what I do. I'm very excited to be here today. I have some questions. I'm very excited to talk about. Camille's got my back. He's ready to go. I mean, I'm really pumped. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm gonna love this. I think. You have on the Stevie Wonder, so I'm a little nervous.
No. This is my like easy E fantasy for today.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey,
had to represent LA. Okay, should I start with my questions?
Yeah. So,
okay.
So yeah.
All right.
You're the.
I'm basically like the host now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Thomas Pod, where I ask my dear sis Ebony a bunch of questions. All right, let's get into it. If you hosted a dinner party with 2 figures from history that you really don't like, specifically just to get to know them better and to kind of try and understand them a little bit more, who would they be and why?
Oh, shit, that I do not like.
That you don't like at all.
To try and get to know them better. Wow. I feel like the ones that I don't like are the ones that I know enough about. to not
No, you know, like,
anything more.
Like somebody who is like might be like maybe misunderstood, or you're just like, maybe I'm trying to understand like your motivation or why you're a piece of shit, or like, I don't know.
Okay. I would say, because I hate a ton of people.
I know. That's why I was like, I mean, how is he gonna narrow this down?
Seriously. Wow. I want to say, like celebrities,
Anybody
or just anybody. Fuck. By name.
Like that one nigga from the 4th grade that like called me like a bald-headed bastard.
Shit. Well, I was a bald headed in the 4th grade. So my number one is you. Oh, sorry. I actually have no idea because I hate a lot of people, but I really do feel like I know everything about them. I would say, I'll keep it. I'll go celebrity and current-ish. I would say like Puff Daddy because I hate him. And Madonna.
Why Puff and why Madonna?
Okay, so why Puff is because why I hate him or why I want to talk to them.
Honestly, both.
Okay, I hate them because they're both disgusting human beings. But why is because I want to know with Puff what drove him to be such a demon. Like because I know it was early, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, what was the initial thought? Like, what did you watch on TV or whatever? What inspired you to be such a fucking demon?
I think it's also kind of like a process, right? Like, it's not just that one. I mean, maybe he does know like that one moment, like that butterfly effect situation, but like.
Well, I would ask then, who was his first, like, who did he first idolize?
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a good way to start because I think like when you look at like the kind of rabbit hole of kind of becoming a piece of shit, it's always like there's like that one little thing that like one little carrot and then the next one and the next one. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And I think that would be great to have that conversation, and then I would use that information and tell children so they won't do that. Madonna, I would ask her, did she know from jump what she was doing?
In like what way?
And
Like career wise?
yeah, like was this all planned out? Like to just steal, 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 and steal.
But isn't that pop music?
Not necessarily. I would say a lot of it is can be motivation and inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson, I'll use a higher level, like a Michael Jackson. He was very inspired by a lot of people, and he gave me credit for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? He spoke about it all the time. He made it very identifiable what he was doing and why he was doing it, right? Whereas Madonna, she camouflaged it as I'm the artist, I'm the creator of it. And even if she didn't say it, she allowed that narrative to ride.
Right.
No.
I feel like with her, and I'm like a Madonna fan, I think like a lot of her career, I think especially when a lot of people don't really have much to say, it took her a while to get to the point of actually having an original, like no shade, but to have like an original thought, like almost, right? Like in the sense of like, how do you, like, what are you bringing to the table that's like your own, that's like an actual fresh perspective that, you know, is not, you know, playing into or taking from other cultures that are not inherently your own. And that's not to say she didn't support these like subcultures and communities and things like that, right? Like obviously she did, but it wasn't like her thing to proposition as her art, because it wasn't, you know, kind of a thing. So I mean that would be like an interesting, especially because like considering now where I don't think that she has like that, like she obviously can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
and she doesn't have the power to do so. And but back then it really wasn't about like talent
and
per
that's
se.
my thing. I think that I think 99% of celebrities should not be celebrities.
Yeah.
And she's in that 99%. And it's like, I think, like how you said, like it took her a while to figure it out. I think when you figure it out, that's when you get to start being a celebrity, not before that.
I mean, that's just not the way it works, though.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying, like that's how I feel like it should be. Like we should never idolize somebody before they are themselves and they are their true selves. You know what I mean? But we do.
But yeah, I just feel like a part of idolization, like, is a bit of a fantasy no matter what, right? Because like you are assigning this level of perfection and prestige and, you know, value to this person that you don't even fucking really know at the end of the day. You know, they're just like, you don't know them. And it's like, I mean, for me, I've always found like the idea of celebrity to be really funny, because I genuinely don't have much personal interest in what, you know, popular people in culture are doing. Like genuinely, like in the same way that I don't think anybody has any interest in what I'm doing every day. Like I don't give a shit who they're dating or where they live or, you know, like what like skincare products they use. Like I genuinely don't. But I know like that's such a like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's such a currency for, like a social currency, right? You know, it's like, oh, you know, like you subscribe to these people that you're just like, why do we invest so much like value in their opinion and their perspective and like what they do, and like you freak out about them or whatever, you know, like,
and then we overlook everything that they do for them. Like it's crazy.
No, it's bananas.
Like it's crazy. Like
they don't live in the real world because we put them on this pedestal. And it's honestly like, it's crazy too when you think about it. Like even thinking about this whole Puff situation is like, we made him like that.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like we made Madonna like that. You know what I mean? So the question isn't really so much as like, is like, why did you do it? it's like, why did like we let you do it? Why did we let you do it? Maybe it's more of the question of like, damn, like as a culture, we were just like spoon feeding that shit. Like, yes, give me this like fucking black gay shit that like is not your own to fucking share. But you co-opted and put it in this like really pop package and everyone forgets about it. Like,
and I think that's what I hate about her the most is that black people like her.
yeah. Okay, dragging me.
No, but you know what I mean? Like that.
No, for real.
That really frustrates me.
Yeah.
If we can't see past the bullshit and we just like, fuck it, we like it, let's just go.
I feel like it's very much so like the DJ Khaled of it all, right?
Absolutely.
It's like you don't really do anything. Oh,
I hate him.
Speak on it.
So, oh my, thank you.
Yes.
I hate him.
I have notes.
Oh shit! Wait,
Where to begin?
oh my god, I just got upset.
Take your time.
Okay. I'm gonna be peaceful in a second.
Peaceful.
I hate him because first of all, he's Palestinian. He has not done anything for the people of Palestine.
Or said anything about it.
He hasn't done anything for them at all.
Mm.
But he likes to boast about what he has while they're going through the nastiest shit. I find that to be
Deplorable.
very.
Yeah. Inexcusable.
I don't
Unforgivable.
think he should exist.
I mean, I genuinely don't understand
And that's
why he does at all.
that's on human level. I'm not even talking about his celebrity yet.
Yeah.
I'm talking on a pure human level. That is disgusting.
Right.
Do something. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah, that's your
He's
people.
doing
That's your community.
nothing.
Yeah.
Now, on a celebrity level, he's doing nothing, and he made all of his whatever the fuck off of black people.
Yeah.
So he does nothing for his people, and then he takes from another people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he shouldn't exist.
I actually had no idea that he was Palestinian. Like, that is pretty shocking, all things considered, because if that's the truth, like, he's literally the most, like, internationally visible, like, person from the region. And in general, too, like, even if he's not Palestinian, for him to be, like, a prominent Arab voice in the United States or in the world, specifically, and, like, with what's going on, for him to have said nothing in general.
Except
to me,
for his
it's
refrigerator showing everybody what he has in the refrigerator.
It's disgusting.
It's
It's
very
disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
He is a disgusting human that should not exist.
Like,
Period.
at all.
And again, same thing with Madonna. Also frustrates me is black people like him. Black people will give him platform after platform after platform to be what he is. Yeah. And care about no one.
Care about nobody.
I mean, to get rich, you have to not care about no one.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
And again, we eat that shit up.
You really do.
And make them the way that they are. Well, no, they are that way. We enhance the way that they are.
Yeah.
And it's despicable.
It's just what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, on a lighter note.
Oh, please. I'm like literally upset.
Well, that's what I'm here for. I bring the drama. Okay. What is the happiest that you've ever been? And do you think you'll attain that level of happiness again?
Yes. The happiest I've ever been was oh my God, this is going to sound so and I'm gonna do it.
Period.
Is when I got this little shit.
Oh my God.
And to obtain it, have obtained it by having him continuously and moving away from what I felt was the death of me. I was going to die where I was located before this, and I didn't feel like the life that the me I created deserved that.
Mm.
So I had to exhaust all possibilities of trying to be happy, not for moments,
Mm-hmm.
because like in the States, like when we were together, moments, those were happy moments.
Right.
But I also feel that, well, not feel, but I also truly think and know on my level that Black people in the States are not happy.
Mm.
I'm not saying they can't have happy moments.
Right.
I'm saying that they're not happy. To be happy, you have to have this sense of freedom and safety.
Is that what you would define happiness as?
No, you have to have those though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How would you define it though?
How would I define it? I would define it as the yearn and the excitement for more.
Mm.
And to have those things, you have to have like the love, the freedom,
The
the
security.
safety.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? To have that. Um, and that's what I have now.
Yeah.
And that's what I've had for almost 4 years now. Um, and it's beautiful. I truly think it's beautiful. And that doesn't mean that I can't get like um disappointed at things or frustrated or even like upset at times or whatever. That doesn't mean that. Like I can still get those things. I can still feel those things. But in all, I'm happy, for
Yes.
the first time. And I'm gonna tell you this as well. Getting him gave me that extra boost to have to move because I was like, I don't want his life to be with a miserable person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
That's unfair to him because I chose him,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So yeah, so that's, yeah. Hmm.
I like that answer. I feel very similar in the sense of like choosing, like, happiness is definitely much more of a choice than I think I realized when I was younger. It always felt like something that you just kind of found or you'd run into. But it really does start with choice. And sometimes that really means like removing yourself from situations or places or people or environments or, um, challenging what you were told, uh, kind of delivers that and kind of figuring out what that means for you. And I think like, yeah, I definitely like resonate with like this just idea of like, let me just, I can figure, I don't want, I'm miserable here. And there's no point in me spending any of my time being miserable when I can choose to be happy and I can choose to make the decisions that will get me to that place.
Yes. And it's funny that you say it because I also got to witness it. I also got to witness it by watching you. Like I saw your unhappiness to happiness,
Mhm.
and not saying that you still didn't have bullshit in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just saying that the core of it was still, I'm a happy person,
Yeah,
you know?
no, totally.
And it's easier to navigate life if the core of you is happy and you have bullshit.
Yeah, I had a friend recently send me a message. That was honestly probably one of the nicest things anyone has ever said to me. It was just like, it's a good close friend of mine who, when I was younger, was very kind of instrumental in my kind of like understanding of like my queer self. And I told him that on this trip we took recently. I was like, you just were like just like one of the only like queer men in my life that I actually liked. Like you're the only one that I actually like who's like vibe I was like into. The only one that like I was like I want to be like that guy, you know. And he sent me a message back being like, well, I might have been that person for you. Like you have been such a role model for me, and just like what it means to actually be happy and to pursue that. And I was like, holy shit, like that's such like especially coming from you, like that's such an important thing because like for me, like I was just always trying to just be myself. And like part of that like kind of comes down to what you were saying of like um how are you actively choosing happiness every day, because you literally have to. Like, it's especially like, some of us girls that like tend to just be on like the sad side. Like, it's every day waking up and choosing like, no, I'm not gonna like fucking wallow in my bullshit and my misery. Like, my bullshit's always gonna be there, but like I can still choose to like have gratitude. I can still choose to like put myself in situations that affirm me, that like, uplift me with around the people that do so as well, and not just be fucking miserable. Like, so many people are just okay with being miserable. And I'm like, not me. Like, I'm way too cute for that shit.
Well, I love myself.
Exactly.
Like, I truly, truly love them. And I'm talking about the human I made is my best work. It's my best work. I am my best creation. And I fucking, oh my God, like how I set, how I set me up is just, I'm like proud, man. Like,
Hell yeah.
it's like,
I'm proud of you.
it's crazy. Thank you. It's like crazy, crazy. I love it. Like, I truly love it. Yeah. Yeah. I choose to be happy.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. No, but it's I like what you just said, like the human I made, because I mean that's actually fucking real. It's so funny, like people take such an inactive role in shaping the person that they become, when it's just like, when you really just like dig into it and like who I am and how I want to show up in the world and what I want to represent, and um what kind of community am I trying to build? What kind of legacy am I trying to leave? And like realizing that like all of that is in here. And it's like, if you're not proud of that person, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, for real. Okay. So next question it's a bit of a two-parter. Um, actually, yeah, it's a bit of a two-parter. Okay. So if you could undo or get rid of one thing, or exterminate one thing in culture, what would it be and why?
In culture,
In culture and society in general.
Black people culture?
No, just in the world in general.
Whiteness.
Speak on it.
It's the globe's evil.
Mm.
It's the globe's evil. It created every problem that we have. Period. It created every problem that we have. And it continues to do it. And you can see it. And it puts on different masks every time we fight it. Right? Every time we try to change it, it puts on a different mask. And the global minority carries it with them. And it's just poison. It's just poison. So I would get rid of that. And I promise you the world would be utopia.
You know what? I feel like, I mean, obviously I agree with you, but the way that I think I like looked at this question for me is like, I would get rid of money. The idea of it. I mean, but I think like whiteness, uh, climate change, all these things are direct correlations to like our relationship with money, like our obsession with it, like our obsession with maintaining it and controlling it and like shifting it, and like all these devices and these social classes and ethnic classes and all these things that we've created in order to sustain these systems of, well, not we obviously, but it's just like, and it's weird to me that like in culture, right, Like, I think this is what was interesting about, for example, like the Occupy Wall Street movement was like, it was like this idea that people were talking about, like finally talking about the fact that like what's most fucked up in the world is this 1% of people who control 99% of the fucking wealth in the planet.
And
Most of those people are
it's-
white, obviously.
it's-
Of that
Everybody.
1%, yeah, of course, they idolize them, and it's just like, why? Because they have money, and what does that does not make them a good person. That does not make them a model citizen or anything like that. It just means that they somehow gain this system enough to like exploit and take advantage of everyone. And the fact that there are so many movements now, social movements, that are happening, and no one is talking about the fact that we need to like remove these systems of power that most of these people are fucking benefiting from. Still, they're working for these nonprofits and they're making six figures. And they're trying to dismantle a system that is, allowing them to drive a Tesla. It's just like making no sense to me, because it's just like we'll continue to like do this like kind of like two-step back and forth until we just like realize like, hey, the only way that like that shit goes is if the base level sort of reason that it exists goes with it too. And I don't think that we're ready to like, I mean, like, I get it. Like, I like nice things, you know what I mean? But it's also like,
we can do nice things.
we can do nice things on our own. Yeah. I don't need money for that,
Exactly.
And I just think that, like when we talk about things like whiteness, it's like, yeah, but we also have to give something up in order for that to go. And like, I don't think a lot of people are.
Of course not. White supremacy, like,
yeah,
I'd say, like, everybody thinks when I talk about white supremacy, I'm talking about white people.
Yeah,
like, just
it's a whole world that we uphold.
It's like I know black people that are white supremacists.
No, absolutely, don't we all?
I mean, I know Asian people that are white supremacists.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know tons of Mexicans that are white supremacists.
Don't we all?
You get what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like that's what I'm talking about with whiteness. Like, it's that has capitalism in it, that has Christianity in it, that has all of these fucking stupid ass, devilish ass acts in it. And it's like, yo, like, that has homophobia, transphobia, that has
all of it. All of it
is in white
into,
supremacy.
Yeah.
Like, all of it is wrapped into that shit. So that's what I would eliminate. Like, completely.
Yeah.
I mean, completely I would eliminate that. And so, and that's what's crazy too. Like, when I say this, and I've had white people get mad at me when I say this, and I'd be like, oh, so you want to keep that? So that's what you want to keep? So that what I'm saying is true then?
Well, of course. Like, why? Okay. Like, a lot of people, no one's going to be like, yeah, I'll actively get rid of what makes me most comfortable in this world.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
then how you going to tell me you love me?
Exactly. And they can't.
Okay. But you do it all the time. Every time we hang up, every time we do whatever. I mean, you love me though. Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's funny because it seems to be like really like mind melting for a lot of people. Like they like don't know how to compute what you're saying, and it's genuinely not that difficult. It's like, do you give a fuck or not? Yes or no? That's it. Because your actions should align with your feelings about the matter. Because if me getting something means that I have to take it away from somebody else, I don't want it.
Oh, greed.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing too. I'm not against selfishness. No. I actually love selfishness. I love when Thomas does for Thomas. I love that. But I will kill Thomas if I see Thomas taking from someone else to give to him.
Yeah.
And then hoard it.
Right.
No. That's greed. I hate greed.
Yeah.
Greed is the removal from someone to hang you.
Yeah.
I love when you, like on a plane, what did they say? Put the mask on you first. Put the mask on whomever. Greed is taking all the masks.
Right.
I don't follow that.
No, totally. And then like charging people to use them.
White
Yeah, no, for real. It's a stain. But there is a couple of listener questions that have come in. One of which is like this, what I would say is kind of like the second part of this question. Because it's a little bit more specific than like culture, a thing in culture. It is if there was one behavior, emotional expression, or intellectual impression that you could remove in humanity, what would it be? Why? And what do you think the lasting impact would be?
Fuck. Okay. My gut, fear.
Mm,
My gut is fear.
mm-hmm.
I think fear is what drives evil,
Mm,
right? When police kill us, they say they're fearful for their lives.
yeah.
They were scared. They were in fear. So they kill us. Well, white people clutching their purse and shit. Like fear, like that type of taught behavior
Mm.
to fear us.
Is it more of like a fear of the unknown or just fear in general? Because I feel like a healthy amount of like being afraid of certain things, like
Wait, so it's not the fear of unknown,
yeah,
even though they don't know.
yeah,
Break this down. It's the okay, so the unknown part is because you don't know black people, right?
right,
I'm gonna just use this as a black and white experience.
yeah,
So you don't know black people, right?
mm-hmm.
That will be unknown if I fear that. But they're being taught these caricatures of black people. So what they think is they know black people
Mm-hmm.
because what they get is the gangster, the drug addict, the poor, the rapist, the thug.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they get.
Mm-hmm.
Advertisements, TV and all that other bullshit. So they think that they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's not necessarily the unknown, it's the unknown of the actual people, but it's not the unknown of what they were taught. And I think if fear left us, and now I'm not just saying fear in a racial sense, I'm talking about like fear of everything,
yeah,
like fear of not making it, fear of this, uh, um, fear of success,
fear of yeah, yeah,
um, fear of love, fear of
vulnerability,
vulnerability,
yeah,
fear of being yourself,
right,
having someone see you,
right,
fear of all of these things. I think if fear left, we will be better
mm-hmm.
as a people. You know what I mean? Because then I would get to meet you immediately,
Mm-hmm.
right? You wouldn't fear my judgment of you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I'm gonna use. Can I use you as an example? Real quick?
go for it.
So
Careful. Just kidding.
I'm trying to
I'm just
be
kidding.
really good.
No, drag my ass. Go for it.
So we met, and when we met, I was already watching. Like I've already saw you,
Yeah,
right? 3 minutes
yeah.
interact with people,
Mm-hmm.
and then we met. You were not that same person 3 minutes ago.
No, definitely. Yeah,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
Now you're that person all of the time.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Uh-huh.
So if you didn't have fear,
Uh-huh.
you would have been yourself that 3 minutes. And when I met you, I would already know,
Totally.
in a sense.
Right. No, I feel that. Like
It was like shocked.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, what the fuck? Wait,
Like-
do you, hey, wait, nigga?
Yeah.
Like, do you like a rap name? So, you know what I mean? Like, what was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
But as I said, I've been seeing you for years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've seen Thomas to 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 Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've yelled at.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so it's like that's what I mean. That fear.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I 100% agree with you. I think um, like it's such a real thing because even in situations where I feel like most of my life I've been pretty unafraid to do many things, but we all still carry a bit of fear inside of us, no matter what, you know. And I think like giving less of a fuck and just like being a bit more like bold in your like, I mean, just taking risks and just being like, yeah, if it fucking works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine. Staying curious and open to things versus like standoffish and afraid of things. Like, I think the whole world would be so much better for that very, very, very same thing. Yeah. It's like, it's kind of crazy how like it really prevents us from so much incredible shit in our lives.
Absolutely. Let's listen. I remember when I tweeted a long time ago, long time ago, even though my tweets are still wild.
It's still wild.
I am sorry. I'm sorry. This one was not on Twitter. This was on the other
Threads?
No.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was I about to say?
This podcast is sponsored by Threads.
That'd be hilarious. What was I about to say? What were we talking about?
We were talking about fear. What are you afraid of, Ebony?
No, what was I about to say? It was something that I tweeted.
Okay.
Oh, I tweeted, so many people are missing out on the best sex of their lives because they're racist. Now, I'm gonna say this. What I meant what I meant what I meant.
Yeah.
But what I also meant is the fear of people seeing you with somebody else.
Yeah.
That's not of your whatever.
Yeah.
People being scared of the unknown.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, because it's also just like, I'm in the middle of reading this book right now called Status and Culture.
Status and Culture?
Yeah, highly recommend it. It's really good, but it's kind of talking about how culture develops, trends and things like that develop over, along the lines of like how we want to be perceived in our social groups, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's status, right? These things that like, regardless of how it is, it's like, I have to have like the fresh sneakers. I have to have like, my khakis creased and cuffed, and I have to have this whole exact look because this says a very specific thing about me and that gives me a certain level of sort of social cachet and social status around my peers and like the people that I want to impress or whatever, right? And so how much of our identities we wrap up in other people's perception of us and not so much in like our own desire as far as like how we want to show up in the world, right? I think now that we like see that there's so many more sort of like subcultures and like communities in the world and shit like that like there's much more of a place for variation. I think you look at the kids these days, they have like there's definitely still a uniform of like being like young, but I think there's still so much more like individuality whilst also still being weirdly monoculture-ish. But I do think a lot of people, like when it comes to like, dating outside of the race or whatever that might be, that they like regularly feel what will people think about me if I do this thing?
The funny thing about that is that say for instance, if you dated a short guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Or somebody that was like fat. Like it just in general, like people are just like, oh, what does that say about me?
No. No matter what.
Yeah.
You date a fat guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which I'm like, more cushion for the push. You know what I mean? I was saying, hey dog, don't make me chase you. No.
Like little something to hold on to.
Holla. Play double dutch. But no, so you date a heavyset person, right? Now the word on the street is Thomas is into fat guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I'm into him.
Yeah.
I'm into him.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, yeah,
it's like that one thing that you dated that was outside of what people perceive you to be liking.
yeah,
Now that's what you're into.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, like, you know, they do that with race all the time.
All the time.
If it was so funny. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm not gonna say names. Okay, so
Let's dox some people today on the pod.
right. I have a white gay friend, and you know he dated
That
a
puts it
black.
down to about like 5 people.
Shut up. That'd be so funny right now.
It's just like,
I'm gonna stick right here.
not that one. Not that one.
I have a white gay friend, and we had a conversation, and he about interracial dating and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you know he dated black. He you know he's attracted to black men. He's attracted to every type of.
Like
I mean,
yeah.
but black man is also one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that is like really weird for white people to do. But he never thought about like when we would have these conversations, he was like, until he was with his white friends, and they were like, "You're into black guys." Well, what did they say exactly? They were like, "Well, that's good for you," or some shit like that.
Interesting,
right?
yeah.
You know, like, well, good for you. Like,
yeah.
Do your thing. Like, we're not gonna do that type shit.
Yeah.
And that's when it sparked, like, wow, this is a problem. And he called me, and we had a conversation. He was like crying. He was like very disappointed.
It's funny to me when white people are disappointed by the whiteness of their white friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm always just like, how did you not know?
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But no, it was really interesting, and I've had that happen a lot in different ways, like different subjects, but like the realization from somebody when I already told you.
Yeah,
I told you this, and you didn't. It didn't ring a bell when I told you. You have to like either experience it or have it come from a face that looks like yours. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy to me, and that's why I always say like movements against a certain movements that is fighting for the rights of a certain people should be led by the people they're fighting against.
That's an interesting thing to say. Why do you think that?
Because if I'm talking about, I'm gonna just give like, if I'm talking about being handicapped, the struggles of being handicapped, the underfunding we have, the treatment we get, everything like this, right? Yeah, you know, my sister.
Yeah,
You're gonna listen. You're gonna be like, yeah, motherfuckers.
yeah.
Give him what he needs. And I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If a non-handicapped person was saying this, then you will be like, okay, what do we have to do this?
Right.
This must be like a thing.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because when it's coming from the person that has the element or whatever, it comes off as a complaint to people that don't have that.
Yeah. Well, it's like the idea that like, I'd say this. I said this a bit ago. Like, you know, part of the reason when I was like deciding to like leave the U.S. and I was like, I realized that the only people who can actually like change, like I'm not somebody who can change much in that country. Like, I don't have access to the people whose feelings need to be changed is about accepting and protecting my right to exist. Like, right. Yeah. Like I don't have people in my life or access to them who to my knowledge, don't value my existence, you know? And so like, you know, the people who are those, like, I don't have access to them, you know? I don't live in these places. I'm not a part of these communities. I don't have anything to give to them specifically. And I think what's really interesting, you look at like queer rights in general. Like the only reason why like I find like gay marriage was passed was because enough white people were comfortable with saying that they were gay. And
exactly. I said this several times.
Literally. And so like when we're in this situation where it's like, oh, enough people are just like, hey,
People were black people would be free.
if white people were black people would be free. Very much so that.
I like gay. I'm like, we're lucky that gay is not just a non-white thing.
No, totally. I mean,
We
exactly.
will be beheaded in this motherfucker.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the crazy thing about it, though, is just like you look at like how.
Should we thank white gay people for that? Thank you for being gay.
Thank you for being gay, so that we could too. No, I mean like but it's really interesting though because it's like because there were enough, you know, queer white people that were comfortable enough coming out to their families that like enough people were like, oh, I don't mind gays. Like my cousin's gay or my son's gay or my daughter's a lesbian or whatever it might be. You know, like it took all of that. It took people actually like having people that they knew personally for them to value somebody's fucking humanity, which blows my mind that people's brains work this way, right? That we're like literally like unless I have a physical human being that I can reach out and touch and hug and kiss and speak to, that I cannot acknowledge or respect or affirm somebody else's existence.
Yes. And then you have those people, and then you also have the people like, I'll go back to the handicap search, that when I'm like fighting for more things for us,
Mm-hmm.
you have the people that are non-handicapped, that are so-called friends, say, "What? You're not handicapped. You be dancing.
Yeah.
You be working out. You be doing this. You be doing that. You be doing normal things." Yeah, when I dance, I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Like every video that you've ever seen me dance, it was one motherfucking take. I was in pain. When I'm posting it, my shit is hurt.
Yeah.
I dance because I feel like I have to, because that's like one of my releases in a sense,
Mhm.
right? But the shit hurts. When we go to the gym, the shit hurts.
Yeah.
When I'm walking Camille, the shit hurts. So you saying like, but you can do what I can do. Yeah, I can. But mine comes with pain.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
And that's a pain that I can't get rid of because we don't have access to things to get rid of it.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then me being black on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what the fuck? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my beefs.
Isn't it really funny how people like their first thought is to minimize your
Always.
like I don't like what
Always.
is that?
Even though I got some friends that be joking and shit.
Yeah.
They'd be like, you know, you have muscle because you're black.
Oh my God, when I went to college, a funny story. I like had this like I went to college in like the upper Midwest, and like there were a lot of times I would like meet people from small Midwestern towns in like Minnesota and Wisconsin and Illinois and stuff like that. And they always would tell me these really weird things that they grew up hearing about black people. One of which is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard is that the reason why black people were so good at sports were because they had extra muscle in their legs.
Oh, you mean our penis?
I mean, the funny thing is I literally would say that. I was like, well, don't go up to some nigga and ask him that because he might say something you don't want to see, like that everything. But like, no, it was just so funny because I'm just like, where do you get this information at? Like, what, like, and it's such a funny thing. It's like, oh yeah, black people are great because they had an extra ligament and it helps them jump.
Not human, body not black. You know what I mean? Like we're not.
Yeah.
Like everybody non-black have been taught that we're apes, that we're all kind of other shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? To get back to the other thing,
Yes.
I want to say this. I want to say, I like, you know, I fight for everybody. You know what I mean? I don't have to be a woman to fight for women's rights.
Exactly.
So I would never understand that when people don't have, are not in one of the categories of discrimination, and they sit idle by.
I believe
Like I don't understand that. Like I'm for all human, right?
Right.
Like all human. I'm not a trans man. I fight for trans rights all of the like.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not somebody else. Love, respect,
Yeah.
all that. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, I don't play that shit
Right.
at all. So I don't get that. I don't get how you can be like have a common denominator, be human.
Yeah. And that's not enough.
That's not enough.
Like that to me is just like that's all I need. Like, do you live? Do you breathe? Do you have a heart? Do you have eyes? Do you have a soul? Like, I don't need like the rest of it is just like minor details.
Bro.
But like that is all that you fucking need. Are they a human being? Are they alive?
At all. I don't get it. So yeah, that's fear. Was that the question? What was that? That was fear.
That was fear. Yeah, that was a very that was a very long-winded answer for fear.
Nice.
Speaking of fear, and the last question, the listener question is, Ebony, why don't you want a relationship?
Wait. I'm not laughing at the question.
Oh yeah.
You're fucking bitch. I'm laughing at the way that
I answered.
he said, no, speaking of fear.
I know, I'm on my Gail King shit today. It's hilarious. You're silent or silence.
Because I've never met anybody. Oh, now let me preface this by saying I've had relationships in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Then I grew up. I never met anybody that I've wanted to own, or I wanted to have somebody have ownership over me.
I feel like, wait a second, for those that are uninitiated in your POV on relationships, maybe you should start with that so that everyone understands the context of what you mean by ownership and things of that nature.
Well, relationships were built off of ownership.
This is really interesting, by the way.
Relationships were built off of ownership. It had really nothing to do with love. It had nothing to do with togetherness. It had to do with a man got a woman pregnant. A man then didn't know if that was going to be his child or not. So then they agreed to a business license called a marriage. So that man can own the woman. And this was like for centuries, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Women were being owned by men. That's what marriage was.
Mm-hmm.
Ownership. That continues to happen to this day. So we took the fundamentals out of that and made it tradition.
Yeah.
And that tradition is poison to me because it lacks love, freedom. It lacks happiness. It lacks everything. What it does is it gives us this sense of, okay, now I'm doing what we were taught. Mm-hmm. So now I'm safe. I'm doing the right thing because this is what I've been told to do all of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it. I'm with love, right? My entire thing is love, right? I want to love you. I don't want to own you. I think once you own somebody, you no longer love them. If you put any kind of restrictions on someone, you therefore no longer love them.
Why do you think that?
Huh?
Why?
Because then they don't have the free will anymore. Because their whole thing is, I can't get this person upset. I can't ruin this thing. So basically, in the majority of relationships, right? When two people or more, nowadays, or more, it's up to the gay influence, or more.
I don't know anything about that.
But you told her yourself. Listen, when four or more get into a relationship, it no longer be about the person. It starts to be about the relationship.
So is it more so like a story of not wanting anyone to feel obligated to you and vice versa, or is
That
it
as well. You can use
is it
obligation as well.
well, because I'm trying to like, I think like when we say ownership, like it's that can be like taken in a bunch of different ways, right? So it's like, are we talking about like the kind of feeling like if you're feeling like you are like someone is beholden to you and your needs and your desires, that they are there to serve you, that they are there um to do what you want, and they to behave in a manner that makes you feel comfortable.
What is it in the vows? Love, obey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and because I agree. I don't think that it's like that's not what, because I think like relationship is one thing, a marriage is another thing, partnership is a completely different thing as well. I mean, all like words mean
Baseline
they all have a baseline of what?
of that. You know what I mean? Like
Of ownership?
if you're this gonna sound crazy, but like if you're a proper owner of this, then you get this love. If you're a proper owner of this, then you get this love.
Mhm.
Right? And it's like that's gross to me. Also was gross to sidetrack. I think it's really gross how people get excited when somebody say, "Will you marry me?" but they don't have that same excitement when they say, "I love you" for the first time. I think "I love you" should be all of the fireworks, and should we get married? It's like, okay.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people don't say I love you enough.
Oh, me neither. But I think that should be that's the shit. That's
Yeah.
the sauce, right? Like my thing is this. There's nothing I don't share with Thomas that I would share with somebody I'm having sex with.
Yeah.
So that there's no difference other than sex.
Hmm.
And relationship is not sex to me. So
Yeah.
that's just sex.
Yeah.
Right. So in relationships terms, we're in a relationship.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like because there's like I'm okay. So I was asked, am I in love? Right.
Hmm.
And my response was yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, with who? And I was like, me. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, okay, so picture it like this. Love is a pool.
Hmm.
I'm in that pool.
Hmm.
You can come swimming if you want.
Yeah.
You can also get out if you want. But I'm going to always be in love.
Yeah.
That's how I want to live my life.
Mm.
In love. Do I want somebody to swim with me? Sure, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
You can play chicken and shit.
Literally.
But
float me a little bit.
It's their free will to get out whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have, hey, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
You tell it. And now we're having a Camilla. Hey, it's okay.
This message is brought to you by our sponsors, Threads by Instagram.
It's okay. This is my relationship. But it's okay.
She's like, bitch, I know you didn't forget to talk about me.
No, right? You better bitch with me. It's been like 5 minutes. Hey, go get him. And now y'all want to play? Go get it. Go get it. Trick you. So I'm gonna always be in love.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm in love with my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're in the pool with me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But I don't have any like, okay, so if I'm in a situation with somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to be in that situation anymore, nothing changes for me.
Yeah.
Other than we're just not having sex.
Like emotionally nothing changed.
Nothing changes for me.
Like at all.
0%.
I mean, I just feel like there's not like there's never like a feeling of like because I feel like regardless of like whether you're okay with it or not, like that kind of adjustment period to like the frequency of like their existence in your life impacts you in some capacity, doesn't it?
No, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, if you're happy and if you're doing what's best for you because something about us hanging out
Mhm.
felt nasty and you had to stop that and get out the pool, I'm happy because you're doing what's best for
For
you.
you. But like, what if that's not the case? What if they're self-sabotaging or getting in their own way? What if they're like operating from a place of fear?
That's on them to have to check.
Yeah.
I can only give you whatever you ask of me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I can't like if you come up to me and you're like, hey yo, I'm having an issue with this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. If that's who I am, you should get away from me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if you're upset because you can't own me, like I'm sorry, we could be and we can swim forever.
Right. No, I mean, I agree. I think that there's a lot of people that could. I mean, and I asked this because I think there's a lot of people that could kind of use that, like a version of some sort of thinking similar to that, because I think people's expectations when it comes to relation, like why so many people are quote unquote alone and miserable, is because they have these largely unrealistic expectations of what they believe a partnership, a relationship, a marriage should be, in the sense of like understanding like that we're all individuals and everyone has their own individual needs and desires and wishes and goals and things like that, right? And like, while I am somebody who likes relationships and likes love and like loves partnership, I also understand like the importance of individuality and like knowing that like I don't own anyone and no one owes me anything.
At all.
And I owe no one anything as well.
At all.
I always actively choose to give of myself and my time because I love, and I expect the same thing in return.
My thing is this. I'm committed to me. Right. I'm going to always be the best me.
Yeah.
And I'm sharing that with you.
Right.
Don't put no restrictions on that. I'm always going to be the man. If you put any kind of restrictions on it, I'm no longer me.
Yeah.
I have to be me. And my whole thing is I will live the rest of my life trying to be the happiest I can be.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come with me, nigga, come.
Let's go. Yeah.
But do understand, you have all the right to open the door, get out. You have all the right to put on floaties. You have all the right to sit on the pool side, in the cabana, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
you toe in.
You can do. I'm going to be driving me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in love always until I'm gone. So no, I don't have time to be heartbroken. Because I feel like, yo, even if you're self-sabotaging, you need to go do that away from me to figure out what you want. That don't mean that you can't come back.
No, for sure. Yeah.
That means that you have to go do that because it's called
sabotage. Yeah.
Do that further.
I can't touch
not self.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's crazy when you realize that, because I had a realization similar to that, like, a bit ago, and going through like a breakup and just realizing like I can't help them realize something that is not, I'm not part of that journey. Like the journey that they have to go on has nothing to do with me at all in the least bit. And I can't be hurt by something that has nothing to do with me.
And it's beautiful to be good with that.
No, absolutely. It's like when you figure that out, like there's so much peace. You're just like,
that's the best thing.
I'm like literally it's just like go do your thing. Like that's all I can do, and that's the most loving thing you can do.
Absolutely,
is to like just be like, and I wish more people. I think especially when you see so many relationships that, and my own self in like the past of just like letting things just drag out so long, and then just like the loving thing to do would have been respect each other enough to just realize like we are not swimming in the same pool anymore.
I'm gonna tell you like this: more relationships would be successful if relationships wasn't a thing.
Right. if we didn't have the expectation of what that meant. And I get that a lot of people, and the funny thing is I think like so many people have such heavy expectations for themselves and for others that they can't even really,
That they were taught.
yeah. And it's just like, do you believe them?
No,
Like,
because they're not true. How
yeah.
like, I mean, you can believe it because it's not true, but it's not a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not true. And listen, it's not that I don't want a relationship. I don't think relationships exist. I think that everybody is playing a role in some sort of weird talk game that and I'm like, yo, where is love, man? Like it's crazy that you would not hang out with me because I don't want a relationship, but I love you.
Yeah.
And you love me.
I have a question then for you. Like, what does commitment mean to you? And
Commitment mean to me?
Yeah.
Me and Camille. I made a commitment. I chose Camille.
Can you not choose another person in the same token?
No, because like it's a difference between having a pet and having a human.
No, obviously, but it's still a living, breathing, conscious being that has feelings and desires and needs themselves, and you chose to
have Camille,
and to take care of Camille and to do that, and I think like,
also like Camille takes care of me,
of course, and it's a reciprocated like relationship, and like the scientific sense of like relationship of exactly. Like two things that live in relation to each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
me and you have a relationship.
Yes, so absolutely.
I'm just like romantically. Yeah, there's something else that comes with it that is ownership, and I'm not with it. So my commitment is to me. Like I am going to always be me. So if you want to be involved with me, don't try to restrict any. Okay, so growing up, right? You know, you start to realize all these things. You know, you remember like when you started realizing like you were black, right? Okay, cool. So then you started realizing you were gay, right? Okay, cool. Then you started realizing that you were awesome. Okay, cool. So with those things, for those things to flourish, you have to have freedom.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like when you're at a job, right? And they are like looking over your shoulder. Is that what they call like, you know, they look over your shoulder and shit. And you have no freedom. So you can't really get the best work done. But when you can come in and out of the job whenever you want. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And you have this freedom and you do your best creative, awesome work.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Like it's like I absolutely agree that I think like there's a lot of freedom in being in a safe space to explore those things.
Can I give you this example? I'm gonna try to make this work. So in like the pre-episode that I did, whatever, I was talking about like, you know, conversation I was having with my friend, and I was like, yo, like, you can't really get mad at somebody that doesn't have the tools to do what you want from them. You know what I mean? And
no,
like,
absolutely.
oh, they didn't do this for me. You know, they're my friend. They're supposed to do this. Well, they don't have the tools. Like, why do you even want somebody without the tools to do it? Like, that's right. Okay, cool. So it's like, why would you want to be in a relationship with somebody that's not the full capacity of who they are?
Right. I mean, a lot of people, I think, you know, when you're younger, at least, too, I think, especially because, you know, living in the world that we live in, where people prioritize getting tied down in like the most formative years of their lives, where they're not necessarily like fully formed quite yet. That all you have to go off of is potential, you know? And so like you can just like, you know, when you're 24, like your girlfriend, your boyfriend might be an absolute piece of shit, but you'll be like, you know, they're on their way to like, you know, being better or whatever. And after a while, like like, you know, when you're younger, yeah, that makes sense because like you literally have nothing, you know, like you're broke and you're like just starting out in your life and your career and stuff like that. So like really that's all we have. But I think as we get older and we become more like either aware of who we are or more settled in who we are, that we still somehow attach this idea to like, oh, this is who they could be. instead of just being like, no, this is who the fuck they are. And like at the end of the day, it's like they said, you know, like when people tell you who they are, believe them. And like, but more importantly, when they show you who they are, they don't fucking believe them. Because a lot of people will say, I'm this, I'm that, I can do this, I want to do this. But like the reality is their actions will betray them almost immediately.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. Have you ever, I'll say in exercise, have you ever left somebody alone and they flourished?
No. No.
Not in the romantic sense. I'm talking about like any human.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes people need to be left
alone. Yeah.
To flourish.
Yeah. No,
sometimes
I agree.
People are not cooked themselves while they're cooking, and if you get with them,
absolutely,
it will stunt their growth.
Yeah.
It's like having a child work out very young.
Mm-hmm. Also, it was like the most Scorpio thing of me to say, like, no, of course they've never flourished. What are you talking about? No, they've all been miserable and sad.
Because when I asked the question, I took it, I heard it that way too.
Let's go ahead and specify. You know, like, I'm answering it. Like, bitch, no, like, hey, shit, they're doing okay, I suppose. No, but like, for real,
but like,
yeah.
People flourish, like, people that I'm in love with now, you know what I mean? Like I've left alone, like they were going through something or they were still in their process, and I've left alone, and I love seeing them flourish.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They, you know, I get to witness it from afar.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I never am like, oh, I wish I was with them.
No, I know exactly.
Oh, I wish they were here.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. That's not who I am. I'm more like I've said this several times. Like people. I know people that will be in a relationship, and one of them would have a dream job the entire time, even prior to the relationship. Right? They will have a dream job. Now they're together for years or whatever, and then they finally get that dream job, and that dream job is like in Paris or some shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they come home and they're like, babe, I got it. I finally got it. So it's like, and that partner goes, well, what about us?
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck you mean? Like, why are you not doing cartwheels?
Right.
Even if you're staying here,
you should be happy.
You should be happy for me. You love me.
Right.
No. They love the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And by you having your dream, whatever the fuck, that's hurting the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now we break up and I have nothing to do with you. Oh, so we were never friends.
Mm-hmm.
So the only ship that I want to be on is friendship. You can keep your relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, I think.
And I fuck friends.
You goddamn right. I fuck fans.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you're not my friend, like.
What are we doing? Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, if I don't want to be in a relationship and you don't talk to me no more, we were never friends.
Right.
And now, so now I feel kind of bamboozled because we were friends.
I think also sometimes people put up with behavior from romantic partners that they would never accept from a friend. You know, like, you know, I remember like once having to basically just be like, you know, like, I can't be your friend. And they're like, why? And I'm like, well, because like, there's just like, regardless, like there's a certain expectation that I have as far as people that I call friends. There's a consistency and a consideration there that you're not able to give. And so if you can't meet that, cause like, it's like you said earlier, like I don't expect anything from a romantic partner that I don't expect from a friend and vice versa, you know, kind of the thing. Like that's just like the base level of it. Mm-hmm. I put no caps on who you are, what you can do, the freedom that you have, but I do expect,
I'm going to assist you.
Yeah. I do expect consideration and consistency. That's just it.
What did they say? Blood is thicker than water. That's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, friendship is thicker than blood.
Yeah. I agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
friendship is the most.
It's a choice. It's again to you said what we're talking about. You choose Camille, you choose the people, and you're like, you choose your community. It's the most
Exactly.
important.
Friendship is the most important. Well, I was about to say that, but I'm going to say that. I am the greatest friend.
She's so humble, y'all.
Oh,
So
I
humble.
would never be humble. That would never happen to me. But and look up the definition of humble. Read through all of them so you understand what I mean. But I am the greatest friend. Like I am. Fuck, man. Like I am. Like I love y'all. Like I love y'all. Even when y'all get on my motherfucking nerves, I love y'all. And I mean, I'm always gonna be there. Like I'm the most reliable person in everybody's life that I know. Like it's like, don't invite me to parties and shit because no,
You're not reliable in that regard.
well that's
But like when it matters, you're always.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you know, it's like yo, like.
But if I need somebody to throw their ass in the circle with me, like, okay.
Or do you need me to set up the party? I'll set up the party. I'll leave before it happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's I will do.
There is a limit to this love.
No, I will do anything for you because that's just what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
To enhance you in any way, to protect you from wrongs in any way. I'll do that. I don't give a fuck. I love that.
Yeah.
So why would I want anything other than that? Why would I place a relationship above that? So when that relationship ends, we're no longer friends.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Nah. So my commitment is to friendship.
I feel like for me, I mean, like, I think, like, I always aspire to be friends with, I mean, like, you know me, I'm a very friendly person for the most part. I keep to myself, but I'm pretty, like, giving of myself, and I'm similar to you. Like, I'm obsessed with my friends. I like love all of them. They're like the most important people in my life, and like I think especially somebody like me who's been so far away from my family for many years, like they are my family, and I like treat them as such. And I think especially the older I've gotten, the more I've realized how important those relationships are, and how much I need to like nurture those relationships and the ones that actually do matter. Because I think, especially as I've gotten older and I've realized how kind of by nature, like kind of insular I am, and I like kind of get lost in my own self and spend way too much time alone, you know. And so then you're like, oh shit, I forgot to reach out to the homies, you know. And like I really catch myself being like, Thomas, you need to like talk to people, like you need to remember this stuff. So now that like I'm in this space of being way more intentional about how I am investing in the relationships of the people who are like my fucking people in my tribe or whatever, right? I'm very cognizant about like not giving that label to just anybody if they don't fucking deserve it. And sometimes I think, especially like when like there's the termination of a romantic sort of part of your sort of connection with a person, oftentimes that kind of comes at the cost of people feeling like they have like been let down on a personal level, not even like a romantic level. It's just like you as a person have let me down. Like the ability for me to call you a friend has been like compromised. And so it's not necessarily the easiest thing for me in the world right now to just be like, yeah, we can be homies, when I don't feel like your behavior would be that I would accept that from a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think like that's the thing that sometimes like, and then maybe that just goes back to like once you realize like calling, like, you know, letting things go at an early enough phase to where you don't get to that point and being like, hey, I'm upset, or someone's before like behaving in a way that, you know, compromises that connection. But I do feel like oftentimes like, yeah, like fuck, I want to be your friend, but I just don't believe that you have the capacity to do that.
Yeah. And what's crazy is like, not saying you, but a lot of people would be like, but I can do a relationship.
That part.
It's,
Yeah, exactly. They're like, like I might not fuck with you like that, but like, yeah, I can date you.
yeah.
And I'm like, what, girl?
Yeah,
Huh?
it's crazy. Like pass. uh, I used to be like, yo, like, we're going to be friends. I don't want to be your fucking friend. Wait, but you want to be with me? Yes.
We have to be friends.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, I don't understand. How does that work? You would be in a relationship with me, but you wouldn't be my friend. No, that's weird.
I think sometimes people like that question I asked of like one trait what's a behavior or a trait that you would like get rid of?
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I genuinely hate when people like beat around the bush, like as like a behavioral trait.
Okay.
Like I really like say what you mean. Say how you feel.
Like how I do?
Say what? No, totally. I'm just like, why are you fucking beating around the bush? Like, do you want something from me? Fucking say it. Like someone like literally just like genuinely like do not waste my time. I don't like guessing.
Yeah.
I say this to people all the time. I do not like guessing. I have no interest in guessing on things. Like,
And I don't like surprises.
I don't exactly. So like give me like tell me what the fuck you want. Like if you like need something, say it.
Yeah.
Like the weird thing of like whether it's pride or fear or whatever fucking purpose that people like beat around the bush. I'm just like, seriously? Just say how you say what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like you do you need help with that? No, if you need fucking help, say you need help.
Yeah. Because I'm taking that as you don't.
Exactly. And I'm not going to push. I'm not. I'm past the point of like overextending myself for no reason.
I can't. Like, especially like now. You know what I mean? Like back when it was like you want to be liked and you want everything to go smoothly, so you did everything in your stupidity to try to make it go smoothly. Like, yeah, like back then, but now,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Nah.
like no.
Mm-mm.
We're at a point where it's like, yo, if you see something, say something.
Yeah, like genuinely. Otherwise, it like I'm Ray Charles to it. Like I genuinely,
for real, I take it as a no.
always.
I'm gonna take it as a no, and that's all I know.
And honestly, it's getting to a point nowadays where I just like, they're like, because I'm just bringing this up because like somebody sent me a message and they're just like very much so like them trying to ask me to do something for them without asking me for it.
Yeah, always.
And I'm just like, no,
Always.
I'm just going to ignore it.
And then what is it? Do they call that passive aggressive?
No,
It's
that's
something
like
else, right?
it's something else. That's what I was getting. Like that's the beating around the bush. It's like I don't know what there's an actual term for it. I don't know.
I feel like it's manipulation.
Oh, it absolutely is manipulation. No, it's 100% manipulation. They're trying to manipulate somebody into offering something for them, and then they can just be like, "Well, I didn't make you do it," or whatever, or like that is somehow like, "Oh, really? Are you sure?" Like, fuck out of here. If I need something from you, I'm like, "Hey, bitch, can I borrow this from you?"
Really go shop and get this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish that too. Yeah.
Like, keep going.
And I'm just sitting there with it in my hand. I'm like, yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I really wish I could eat too. Yeah, eat.
That looks so good. It's like, look, if you don't tell me that you're hungry, like, and get the fuck out of here, like,
No,
come on now.
Just be like, yo, can I
have some of that? That's mine is yours. Say less, of course.
And also, you know what I really hate? This is what I really hate, because I don't want to come off like they're selfish or anything.
I don't think it is at all.
Not selfish, but like, asshole.
Well,
This is again. I'm bad. But what I would say is this: I don't like when I ask somebody something, they say no, or they be like no, and then when then I have something in front of them, they beat around the bush and act like they now want something. But I asked you, like if we went to the store, hey, do you want something from the store? And you say no. I get back in the car with my Skittles and shit. Sponsored by Skittles. I get back. I get back with my Skittles and shit, and now you're like, damn, I really do like fruity candies.
Yeah, and then you're just like, well, sucks to be you. I'm not sharing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, it's just like, it's a stain in this world. Like, just like, say what you mean. It's just like cut all the bullshit at the end of the day. Like, if you're like, yeah, I want something, but I don't know, surprise me. Like, just say that. Yeah, I'll get you some fun. But like, no, I don't know.
And also, so do not ever say surprise me, and you know I don't know.
Genuinely.
That's the kind of shit too. It's like when people go to restaurants and be like, "Oh, surprise me." The waitress be like, "Bitch,
I don't know you. Like, literally, do you have a food allergy?
yeah, like
Like, the fact? Like, serious?
I would never say that. Like, what do they bring me? Like mayonnaise floating in milk. I would vomit all over.
Oh my god, that's
spicy.
disgusting. That's spicy. That's spicy.
They had like white people dreads in it.
It's served on a bed of white dreads. Caucasian head lettuce.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. Caucasian head lettuce.
I don't know.
Okay, it's time to feed him. So,
I think that's it for the Thomas podcast. Thank you all for joining. Thanks to our sponsors, Skittles and Threads by Instagram. Please be sure to like and subscribe here and here and here.
Wow.
And you know, you can be sure to follow us and find us on any of the systems. You told me this was any of the platforms and systems. And what Camila said.
Yeah. It's time for him to eat, as you can see. He's being very nasty. But now, I'm going to feed you, I promise. Why are you mad dogging? Ain't that funny?
It is mad dogging to a dog. Yeah.
Why are you mad human? So gangster. So gangster. Race the love. Oh yeah, you better not go home. All right. So thank you for watching and love. Peace. That was fantastic. Really, really good.